Hey everyone, Crypto Vatsik here. Thanks for joining. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And nothing of what you're about to see is considered financial advice. These are my opinions only, as always. All right, let's get into it. So I've got a really exciting video for you guys today, as I'm going to show you a live trade that I'm currently in, that I actually entered in yesterday. And I'm going to be providing updates as we go. But I thought it would be a really good test for some of the things I talk about in my previous videos and, put them to action with real-time results. So if you want to learn more about how I got these levels and some of the analysis tools that I use in this video, please definitely go watch my other videos on support/resistances or order blocks to learn more about it, as I think they can definitely provide a lot of value, but I'm not going to get too much into it in this video just to keep it brief. And again, the point of this video is really just to update real-time results, putting words to action sort of thing. So it's not about being right. It's not about chasing clout. It's really about knowing when you're wrong. And, it's acting on an invalidation point, having a plan B, and let's put it to action. Let's see what happens. So with that said, I made an entry into Fantom. Because I was seeing a few different things. So I kind of made to myself 3 to 4 reasons why I was going to take this trade. And I wanted to, I thought it was a really good example to post a video on it because it just has some really good things in there. And, one of the things was that I had a really clear invalidation point. So it's kind of 3, 4 reasons why I thought that, we should see a decent pump here to some certain levels, but also because I had a really good invalidation, a clear invalidation. So I said, okay, if I'm wrong, that's fine, and I can manage that. So let's get into it. So the first thing I wanted to just briefly mention is basically we saw this tightening consolidation pattern here on the August open, or just before as well, where price really started to chop pretty heavily. Without making a real strong sell-off, meaning the overall level of the price more or less held. But you saw this up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, kind of choppy, making lower lows, making lower highs. But it really just started to consolidate in this area. So you could just draw a wedge, so to speak, something like this, and you could have played the breakout and retest, which is basically what I did here. But really, when you start to see this, you can tell that a bigger move is about to come. So that was kind of the first thing that I saw. And so the second one would have been that this order block. So let's just go into a hard time frame. So go to the 6 hour here. And so basically on a hard time frame, I drew out this gray zone here, which is the order block that I drew just basically put in gray for now because it wasn't really support, it wasn't really resistance. We were kind of hovering in this area. We had a couple fake outs above and below, more or less played around within the zone, which meant it could have been developing some sort of base at this level. So I did mark a resistance order block up here that I found on another hard time frame as well. At the time, afterwards actually. So at the time I had originally done the gray zone, and then later I went and actually noticed this resistance box and actually saw that's what we're struggling to get through. So maybe not fake outs, but really that's what we were struggling to break through. And anyways, so perhaps we're breaking through it now actually, but we'll have to see. The nice thing was there was a clear invalidation below this OB, this gray box. So basically, my invalidation point, if I'm wrong, would have been a stop loss right below this box, which was, minimal risk and, not, I wouldn't say risk free because at the beginning of the trade, my stop loss wasn't at 0. My stop loss was actually about 1.5%, a little bit lower than I've got it here at the moment. But as soon as I saw that I was in profit, I moved my stop loss up to break even point, making it a risk-free trade. If I were to get stopped out at that point, I likely would have just tried to get in lower in this gray zone and just re-entered back in just lower. So it was a bit of a cheeky trade, I will say, because it assumed a breakout above this area, where a lot of traders would have waited for confirmation and a back test. perhaps what we got here, a breakout here, back test, or breakout above here and back test sort of thing, right? But I was able to get in. I jumped the gun a bit, so a little riskier, but I had a few other reasons why, which I'll get into. And I had a tight stop loss, so it's minimal risk, and now it's a risk-free trade. So that was really with the order block. The other point was that I was seeing on a higher time frame, we started to hover. So this is the 12-hour. We started to hover around the 100 exponential moving average right here, right? So we kind of toyed with it here. Didn't really know how to react, rejected from it, came back up. Super nice reaction here. So we had many candles, try to break below it multiple times, and was able to close above it consistently. So we're definitely creating some sort of base at this level above the MA and building up strength. So that was kind of the third reason. I think third. I'm not counting, but the other one was really when we started to create this bottom here. We created this bottom here, and we're still making lower highs and lower lows at the time. And at this point, you might would have thought, we're heading back down further. But when we made this new high back up to about 34 cents, it broke this previous high, right? And so it broke out of that structure, it broke out of the downtrend. And now this is a new trend. This is a new wave trend. And so with that said, we made a new higher low. So that's like a pretty significant reason to say, okay, this might be a potential temporary reversal. So basically breaking the downtrend, not making lower lows and lower highs. We made a new high and a higher low here. Okay. And if you're looking to enter at that point, when we made this higher low, you'd have a really clear invalidation point here as well, right? So you'd say, okay, it made a higher low, draw a trend, whatever you want really, but it's a clear invalidation below this that, okay, it's not a break in market structure. We're likely headed back down to these lows again to retest. So just a few reasons there. And then when I took here, one sec. I just gotta fix these. I just hate how it looks here. There we go, a little bit better. Sorry for that. So when I took the trade, I think it's key to mark some levels for your take profits, right? And so it's great if you had, if you're in profit, it's great, you're happy. But so many cases, people watch their trade, pump up and home run back down, full circle, full loop back down to either their stop loss or break even, and then they might not know what to do, and they get a bit lost, right? So it's good to have a stricter plan on where you're going to sell, where you're going to take profit, and why, right? So I had marked these levels out again from some previous videos that I talk about on OBs and support resistances. And then also just areas that I just think, have confluence with areas that look like they would be resistance, right? And these I think we're taking on some higher time frames, but they're marked out here right now. So I kind of said, okay, this would be, maybe it's a minor area of resistance. This was the first one to really break through, right? And so now that we've broken through, or fingers crossed, we actually hold up here and we can be able to close up here somewhere, maybe another back test. But I do think we're going to head up to this, at least take profit one level. And that'll be my take profit one. I might take 25% off. I might take 30% sort of thing. And then I'm gonna have my second zone here, which would really be, I would say, potentially stronger resistance. I'm leaning towards it not being that strong still. I think if we do see a real temporary reversal here, with Ethereum and Bitcoin, or at least Bitcoin just chilling for a little bit, that I think we could definitely test these highs at my third level here. So just under 50 cents. I could see this ripping up pretty easily. So it's not to say I'm not going to take profit here. I just don't know necessarily how much. But I don't have orders set. I will be watching this closely. I might start to set some orders once I see some more price action develop. But essentially, 3 levels for take profit here. And you just take it up on the way up, and then maybe you leave a little moon bag at the end to run, sort of thing. Um, it really just keeps you honest, and it keeps you accountable to yourself, and it ensures that you're going to take profit from a trade. Because so many times, like I said, myself even, I've watched, uh, you know, a full lap, right back down, and you're just like, oh my God, I could have taken profit so many times, and at least taken 15, 20%, whatever. So, and the other thing that I want to point out was that I'm constantly checking in on Ethereum and Bitcoin. So I was watching Bitcoin as well, and I was thinking, okay, so we had this kind of consolidation here, and we might still make a new low, but at least it was able to really chill out for a little bit and give altcoins potentially a little bit of room to breathe. So that was something that I was looking at. I didn't want to see a major drop or too much volatility. This is kind of perfect for altcoins where it's just kind of little sideways. We are making lower lows here, but in all honesty, we didn't really drop that much in price. And now we're just back up to the middle of this area here. So, and I do take ETH into account as well. That's something that I do look at, and similar structure, right? So it looks promising. This could have been an SR flip right here. Um, Somewhere in here, right? So this looks promising too. I mean, you could probably take a long up to this resistance again, or even further, sort of thing. So it's good to check in on those two, and when you take a trade too, that's just my strategy at least, to make sure that the market is not going to sneeze. And this is a shorter term play, right? So this might not be our true bottom. This is a short term play. That's why I have my take profits set. And I'm not expecting to hold this forever, because we could full circle back down and make new lows. So it's important to have a time frame when you do make a trade. You're going to say, okay, this is going to be maybe a swing trade, perhaps not a day trade. I'm on higher time frame here, so this is probably going to take some time to play out, maybe a few days, kind of thing, right? So yeah, key is to have a time frame, and this is going to be a shorter term for me, shorter swing trade for myself. And finally, if you're an Elliott Wave person, I do look at Elliott Wave as well, just as reference. It's not my main course of analysis, or my main strategy for doing TA, but I do like to check in on it, as I do understand it, and it's just sometimes good backup, and something to support your idea, right? So basically what I was looking at is, okay, so say this is our low and a first impulse possibly. Well, what did we get? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. Well, we entered wave 1 actually below wave 1 territory. So that's not it, right? Okay, so then what do? You go back. This is your first impulse. So this is still a corrective structure here. Not quite a double bottom, but possibly double bottom. But either way, it's a corrective structure still, some sort of ABC from off the previous move. So maybe this is our first impulse, because we made a new high above this lower high over here. We made a new high, higher low. So 1, 2, working on a third, potentially right here somewhere, right? Possibly even an extension up to here, 4, and something like that. Potentially, right? I don't like drawing lines and assuming exactly where price is going to go. I like to play it level by level. But if this was a first impulse temporarily in a higher low of our wave 2, then I'd say we're working on our wave 3 at the moment, and we'll see something form like this over the next few days, kind of thing. So that's kind of from an Elliott Wave standpoint. I just started looking at that, but again, I don't really tie it too much into my analysis anyways. Yeah, so I think that's kind of it for now. I do share these updates quite frequently on my Twitter as well, so definitely go have a look there if you're interested. And I'll probably upload another video to my YouTube and post to Twitter as well, just updating this trade as we go. So hopefully you found it helpful and you enjoyed it, and please would really appreciate a like and subscribe to the channel if you did, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.